Ah, yes, it has been a whole week of not logging into Apex Legends, and it has felt like a strange, but I suppose weirdly deserved holiday. Did you miss me, guys? Because as you can imagine, I was eager to come back and see how it would feel to once again brave the original Kings Canyon and with it, Skull Town. Well, let me tell you a tale. Of course, my name is Ragtag, the greatest gutter tier gamer on the face of this earth, and today, I got absolutely destroyed by the game files themselves. So what's that? It's some kind of pack. Okay, it didn't load, which is weird because I remember a bug just like it 2 years ago. Oh well, one bug, no problem. The game loaded me back in just in time before the drop, and no, don't adjust your device because that is in fact me getting kicked out of the game again. And we were back. Well, I was, Wraith wasn't. It was time to run for our lives with cheeks clenched and hope for loot. With a trusty flatline in our hands and an entire lobby to fight, it was time to find out how 7 days off Apex affects the Gutter Tiers gameplay. Still getting lucky, apparently. Well, unless everyone was getting this bug, my return to Kings Canyon would be the most irritating comeback ever told. But then I loaded in, unharmed. Now what, Ragtag? You have 2 bullets. You have to stand in the corner so you don't have to look your enemy in the eye? Probably. But what if those 2 bullets had a dream attached to them? A will to survive? A refusal to let this bug defeat you? Let that be a lesson to you all. No matter how bad it seems, how dark it gets, there's always a chance. There's always a path! So, how's your Kings Canyon experience been, guys? Please leave me a comment below and let me know, because 99.9% of my games have gone like this. Ah! Hey Ragtag, that's your own fault for dropping in Skull Town. Yeah, what would you expect? Go over to Repulsor and admire that huge tower thing before it fell over and exploded? Or how about sensibly rotate to Skull Town later, after most of the lobby is dead? No, you give us the original Kings Canyon and then you're either in or you're bored. Anyway, round 48, here we went. And the loot gods favoured us.
Under fire. Opening fire. Bandit down.
Reloading. And that was the last one.
Impressive. Glad you're my wingman.
Yeah, Valkyrie was glad I'm her wingman. Little did they know how appropriate that statement was. But as with every other game before this one, Skull Town was, well, let's just say, populated. So I went over for a quick to my teammate before we set about cleaning up this town.
Under fire.
It felt great to still be alive, but we were running low on ammo and some Legolas wannabe was skulking about. If they dared approach the gutter tier, ouch!
Shooting at me.
Arrow in the bum. We'll take it out later. For now, it was time to locate this elvish menace and give them a lesson in true warfare.
Under fire.
Of course it would be a revenant, and although I should have rushed in instantly, I wanted the grenades to do the talking, but they didn't say a freaking word, so we pushed. And yes, this was an accident. I missed the bridge that you could park a train carriage on. I'm bad, I get it, but that's why we're Horizon, to fix the mistakes of the past in the present. Good night, Revenant Hood. You died with honor, but also that was annoying, so don't do it again. As I raided the death box, I heard footsteps, and it didn't feel safe to heal up here, so it was time to dip. Valkyrie stood their ground though, and I teabagged the shutters just to assert my dominance, but my teammate was 1v2 and badly needed my help.
Charging up my shield.
What had I done?
Reloading. Gone.
Down. Bogey here.
This was winnable, but trusting the wingman alone is not something I do often. So I clung to what I had and engaged.
Reloading. All those numbers are shiny.
We got the job done, but then more footsteps. This wasn't over.
Silly scratch, dear. Keep calm, dearies.
Fortunately for us, they got busy with each other.
Recharging shield. Incoming care package.
Get at me.
The chaos was only just beginning. It was time to regroup, and thank goodness I had 22. I decided that I could spare a couple for Valkyrie who was about to need them. My teammate was fast becoming a useful meat shield.
Charging on my shield.
Reloading. Shield recharge. Being shot at.
As the squads whittled away, it seemed that our enemies were multiplying. We had to get to the high ground and dig in for the end game. So that's what it feels like to take one in the front and one in the rear at the same time. I have to say, I don't recommend the experience, to be honest with you. And while Gibraltar had fired off his defensive bombardment right above our heads, we had the perfect cover to heal up. Yeah, apparently splash damage is also a thing in this game. Now we needed Valk to stop being the meat shield and become... Well, that was the furthest I'd gotten all evening, so that was something. Now, I don't know about you, but in my book, the Jump Master is named as such for a reason. They control the landing, and so long as they're not going to hurl you off a cliff, you really should be sticking with them. So when I was made Jump Master and targeted Skulltown for a good ragtagging, I did not expect my teammate to disagree and go off somewhere else. Oh well, once more into the fray, into the last good fight I'll ever know. Live and die on this day.
Killed an enemy.
Oh, thanks for your well wishes from afar, Bloodhound. Now I could have escaped right there and then, but I made my peace with my decision. And my teammate pinged 10 miles away where I reminded them where they could find the real combat.
Pulling the trigger. Reload.
I took offense to that full send melee and vowed vengeance on that impudent Pathfinder. Killing the enemy who killed my enemy, good enough. Now please tell me that we shield swapped here. Come on now. Okay, well, we're the kill leader. We don't need shields. We've got the power of fortune and luck and... I should order some more of that. As I was beaten to the afterlife, Bloodhound pinged me 3 times. Then they pinged it again, which was very helpful, I have to say. But that didn't change the feeling of betrayal. Yeah, we said that we made our peace, that we'd have to 1v2 every fight, but that was a lie, lined with a fool's hope that eventually my teammate would have seen sense and come running once they got a weapon or something, not end up in water treatment. But now they had a gun, and they had the goodwill to get my banner. I just had to hope that they weren't as bad at this game as I am. Oh, it was like looking in a mirror. Well, whatever happened before happened then, and that's a slate wiped clean as far as I'm concerned. A fresh start for a new team, because let's face it, we haven't actually even met in Kings Canyon until now. As you would expect, the battle for Skulltown wasn't over, but with the ring starting to close east, it soon would be. However, that didn't put the gutter tier off one bit. Also, I hadn't even looked at the ring, so I didn't know where it was going or when it would be approaching us. Do you ever walk into a fight and then hear the peacekeeper and decide, yeah, no, I'm not going in there? Because that was me. A feeling of impending doom, it just washed over me, and I wanted to approach this fight in a slightly different way. Okay, look, I just hoped someone else would finish them for me. All right, shut your mouth. Turned out my hopes were for nothing, but I did catch the sound of a void trailing around the rock face, and it didn't seem as if Wraith knew I was on the prowl. Then Wraith's teammate came back for the banner, but ran into my Russian comrade.
Reloading. Taking damage.
Whatever result came from this game, we had escaped Skulltown as the last squad alive, and that was a victory in my books. However, I wanted more, and as it would transpire, a nearby team wanted to take that from me.
Scanning the area.
I got a hooligan over here.
Shots fired at me. Eyes up. Grenade.
Singularity deployed. Mind your car keys. Thermite out.
Recharging my shields. Device not even, but I am down.
He went straight down. Up and away, Newtie. Reloading.
Alas, another squad had cut down my friend from Russia, and we were in no shape to fight a 1v2 who would be at full strength. For now, I'd have to run and hopefully loop around to get that banner, just as Bloodhound had done for me.
Getting our colleague's banner.
Just as we got close to the redemption of our dysfunctional squad's reunion, Loba popped up the black market and gunfire was raging around that death box. We'd have to try one more route before the timer ran out and Bloodhound would be gone for good. Remember when I said I needed to order some more fortune and luck?
Shooting at me.
The quest for the banner was over and I was absolutely gutted. I did not expect a Wraith to pop out at the last moment and ruin a perfectly good rescue. All we could do now was...
Can I get away with brewing a cuppa?
Round 5, 4 squads left, but I had a plan. A simple plan, really. Wait for my enemies to think that they're going to be sneaky and cunning while creeping around the rock face, only to find that the rock springs to life and takes them from this battleground. And it would just so happen that a customer entered my shop, where today I'm giving away the bullets from inside my loadout for free. There was no hiding my presence now, but others could only guess at my exact whereabouts, and I knew there was a teammate of that skulking Pathfinder nearby.
Killed me a whole squad.
Now we had a Kraber, and the perfect idea. Let the final round close. Throw my tactical, get me into the air, drop an ultimate on the enemy's heads, let the Arc Star take out a pair. This was the moment, and the timing would have to be perfect. But it wasn't perfect. Well, let me just say that I woke my neighbours up with the words that were shouted after this game, and I was surprised not to have summoned a demonic horde with the incantation that followed that loss. However, we did better than the other 47 games before this one, so I'm going to take what I can get at this point. Hope you enjoyed the vid and you've experienced a win in Kings Canyon, because I know I haven't. Catch you in the next one, guys. Later.